All right, welcome, Nancy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Nancy has been a member with us since I believe it was May of this year and has recently just joined our Success membership. So, going on her fifth month with Homemade Method. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd love for you to talk to me a little bit about what your blood numbers and weight were prior to joining the program.
Okay, my weight was 215 pounds, and that's pretty high for me. And my blood numbers, I have high blood sugar. That I haven't had a new blood test on. I've had troubles with my thyroid. I haven't had a normal test in that for over 2 years. Just high blood pressure, lots of pain all the time from rheumatoid arthritis and regular arthritis, and to the point that I was wearing very expensive knee braces to even move. So I decided it was time I had to do something. I didn't want my children to have to take care of me the rest of my life. I wanted to be more independent and do things with grandkids and kids. So I came across the Homemade Method and I listened to the free things. And then I thought, I have to do this. I have got to turn this around. And I think this just might be the way. So that's sort of what got me there.
Wonderful. We're so happy to have you. It's a huge reason why is wanting your kids and your grandkids to be able to have like the most vibrant version of yourself, to be available to play, to, nourish yourself with them and continue those beautiful familial relationships. So we're really happy to hear that you have such an important why, keeping them back of your head while you continue to work through the program.
It is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. So I'd love to talk to you a little bit about what your cooking was like prior to the program.
Well, for many years, I've worked full time. When my children were little, I did all the canning and cooking, stay-at-home mom. And then when they started going off to college, I went back to my career and I was director of reading for school districts, but I was commuting over 2 hours a day if the traffic was good. So it got to the point where we were eating out most nights and on weekends. And I always ate breakfast, grabbed that, but it was maybe not the healthiest breakfast in the world. And lunch was definitely not healthy because I was carrying it every day. So very little cooking going on in my house for a number of years. And, my weight just started creeping up and climbing up. And it isn't that I didn't know how to cook. I'm a farm girl, and had lots and lots of experience cooking at home and with my children. But once they got out, it was like, why cook for 2 people? Let's just go out. So the time pressure from work was one of the reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're focusing on your career, it's really hard to stop and make that time to cook all those healthy meals. When you have your weekends, you're like, I need to relax.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't want to be on your feet in the kitchen. I definitely understand that. It can be a really big challenge to balance that. So it does sound like you have quite some experience in the kitchen with cooking and canning. You mentioned you grew up on a farm. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah. So what kind of stuff did you can growing up?
Oh, we canned a lot of beans, tomatoes, beets, carrots, a lot of canned juices. My grandparents had the dark berries, like go into Welch's grape juice, or grapes, and Mother would put up all kinds of jelly and jam for the year, and all of the juice we could drink at breakfast every day for a whole year. So our basement was lined with all of that. We froze corn. And of course, being on a farm, we had our own meat. And after we got married, I just kept doing the same kinds of things, and we'd get meat from my parents. And so we were cooking very much like I had been raised to cook. A lot of bacon fat. you know, not so much the oils that I now know are better for me, but still pretty wholesome cooking.
Yeah, I will actually say that like it's a little contradictory to what a lot of people understand bacon fat to be. But if you have pasture raised pigs that are raised on your farm, eating like nutritious and amazing like grasses and like mushrooms and all those things that you find out on a farm, the bacon fat they produce is actually not that bad for you as long as you're just not cooking with it like with a thick layer in your pan. Like a little spoonful in, and it's really not that bad for you. It is a normal fat that people have been cooking with for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So
Right.
it's important to remember that. It's just a matter of like the quality of meat and the amount of fat that you're cooking with. So
Well,
worse.
I had been purchasing grass-fed beef for the freezer, get a half a beef and put it in the freezer. So we had been eating a really good quality beef prior to this.
That's incredible.
I just felt like I had to do that for my health. And so I've been doing that for quite a while now.
That really warms my heart to hear. A lot of people, it's unfortunately it becomes like, unless you have a certain kind of connection to a farm community or you live in some place that's rural where you like, which again would create that certain connection with someone that can sell you grass-fed pork, beef, chicken, whatever you want, whatever kind of meat you want, at a decent price. It becomes quite expensive when you're living in a more urban environment.
Mm-hmm.
And so having that available to you it's incredible. I love that you're taking the step to eat grass-fed meat. It definitely ups the nutrients of the meat that you're eating, and also just like the taste is so different.
It is.
It's just so different. It's you can really taste like that this meat has been, this was an animal that was eating a wide variety of food. And
I can hardly stand to eat ground beef unless it's from this, because it's so incredibly better this way.
yeah, it's very different. So that's great. I'm so happy that you have it available to you. That's really wonderful. I would love to have that across the board. Anyone who wants meat could eat grass-fed, pasture-raised meat. I understand though it is somewhat of a limitation on people that, you know, when, like I said, I live in an urban environment and like I have to search for those things. It's not really available at all my grocery stores. So
Mm-hmm.
I love that you're enjoying that. You and your husband have been and like continue to do that. That is definitely a huge help to your just the nutrition you're getting out of all of the meat you're eating,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Cool, wonderful. Well, so you mentioned a little bit that you were eating out during the time when you were focusing on your career. What kind of foods were you eating out? You don't mind sharing.
Oh, goodness. It could be everything from fast food if we were in a hurry to a sit-down meal where, you know, like a Cracker Barrel meal and hometown restaurants, that kind of thing. More fries than I should eat, or if it was a good solid meal, they gave you more than you needed. But I grew up on a farm. We clean our plates. So
the portion size for sure.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. So it wasn't that we were eating bad most of the time. We were just eating too much most of the time.
Yeah, for sure. If you look at your plate, like the composition of your plate, for example, if you look at your composition of your plate prior to joining Homemade, it sounds like you would see fries on that plate. You might see like a large portion of protein and then a small portion of veggies, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And now, what does your plate look like in terms of homemade style food?
Well, can I just go through a day and say
Absolutely.
Okay. I start my breakfast with a smoothie. And I love the smoothie that Anna did on the demonstration for Module 1, I believe. And I do a smoothie very similar to that every day. So I have coconut water is what I use for the liquid, because I'm not crazy about yogurt. And then I have banana and strawberries or blueberries. I have to limit what I do with fruit because I'm diabetic. So that is the start. And then I go into spinach and parsley, sometimes watercress if I have it.
Ooh.
If the store has it, I have it. And then carrots and beets, the chia seed, flaxseed mix. And then when it's almost done, I throw in walnuts. And so that's my breakfast.
Wow.
A lot of vegetables and some fruit. And then for lunch,
Absolutely.
I roast vegetables. That's always have vegetables. Today I had green beans and tomato. And a lot of times I'll have like a butternut squash that I'll make roasted with asparagus in it. So a variety of different vegetables, and that I don't do any protein at that point in time. Then my evening meal, I have the protein, uh, at least 2 vegetables for my evening meal, and maybe 3. I try not to have potatoes because I know that that can turn into sugar for me. So I have been eating sweet potatoes, however. And so that takes the place of a potato for me, and then other vegetables along with it. So that's pretty much my diet now, and it is paying off so well.
Oh
So
my
well.
goodness. That's so great.
No,
What? Go
I've
ahead.
dropped gluten, no gluten in my diet anymore. And I think that that has made a huge improvement. I'm now able to get out of a chair without help. I'm not wearing my braces. My knees will hurt sometimes, but nothing like they were. I mean, it was pretty debilitating before. So
Wow.
that's just a major, every time I move around during a day, I notice.
Yeah, that's incredible. It sounds like your inflammation has been reduced significantly, and you are doing a fantastic job at listening to your body. Just simply understanding that, like, what feels good in the morning is this super vibrant smoothie, which has beets in it, which will definitely help your blood pressure issues. Has tons of fiber. You've got those healthy fats from the walnuts and the chia seeds. Overall, just, I mean, with the fruit that you have in there, the glycemic index is lowered significantly because of all the fiber and fat you have included in your smoothie, which is wonderful. You'll definitely see a slow in your blood sugar spikes there, if any blood sugar spikes at all. And then it sounds like for lunch, you were doing a great job of just eating some super nourishing variety of veggies that are light. It won't bog you down. You can eat your lunch without feeling like you need a nap afterwards, which I know for a lot of people is a huge issue. Um, and
Mhm.
I love for dinner that you're eating multiple veggies. You're enjoying protein. It sounds like that's really working for you. It's great. You have got this down. You totally listen to your body, which I know takes a little bit of time to become in tune with. It's a dynamic relationship that we all have, and it's important to be able to go with the flow. Sometimes you just have to be like, this is what I need today, and this is not what I'm going to do tomorrow. And but once you find your routine and you find your stride, it becomes much more simple, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it is so much more simple now. It is. And before, I didn't tell you, I ate a lot in the evening after dinner.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm always hungry. So I'm going and getting something to eat. And then I would even have stuff in the bedroom after I went to bed at night. Okay, I'm going to have some dried apricots now. Or, not horrible foods, but too much sugar and eating at a
Exactly.
time of the day. So one of the biggest things that helped me was the question that Anna put out, when you want a snack, to ask yourself, am I hungry? In the first few days, I wanted snacks. Oh my goodness, I wanted snacks because I was a snacker. And so I would ask myself, am I hungry now? No, I'm not hungry. And it only took about 3 days for that to go away. And I haven't had any problem with, I just have to have a snack. I'm going to have something to eat. I don't have a problem with that anymore. And that has been probably the biggest thing that has stunned me about this program, because I was afraid I would still want to sneak off at night and eat some food by myself.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that this transformation has happened so quickly for you. I know that not for everyone, this is not the norm in terms of like you're shifting your habits and your patterns that you've created around food for a lifetime. So I think that definitely having your background of living on a farm, growing up on a farm, like producing a lot of your own food has really helped you shift back to that mentality and that routine. You know, because you only had a few years where you just really like took your hands off in the kitchen and your career, which is also super important. But I think that that's really incredible that you've had this transformation so quickly. It's awesome. It's music to our ears. It makes us smile ear to ear for sure. And we're so proud of you. It's incredible. And how does, so you're cooking for you and your husband? Yeah.
My husband is now deceased.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I'm cooking mainly for myself,
Mainly
but
for yourself.
dinner at night, my daughter lives with me and her youngest daughter.
Okay.
And so, you know, they're off at school and work all day and they come home and I cook for them at night. So sometimes they will add extra things that I don't eat. You know, they may have white potatoes, which I don't eat at all. But pretty much we eat the same thing at dinner. I do a lot of buying of salmon and they adore salmon. So I would never have it just for myself. You know, that wouldn't be fair. Another thing that they've learned to love is the, I can't think of the name, the chicken that she demonstrated.
Chicken gremolata.
There you go, gremolata.
Yeah.
And I do it with the whole chicken. And then sometimes I have cauliflower around it and some small potatoes around it for them and some asparagus or something. And oh, the flavor of those vegetables is incredible. And yeah, the college girl was home over the summer and she's like, oh my goodness, these are the best vegetables I've eaten. So, you know, that's
so
another thing, that recipes are delicious. So it's not a hardship, you know.
Absolutely. I agree. I love that you're sharing this with your family. That's really beautiful that you're able to incorporate these wonderful, nourishing meals into not only your life, but your daughter and your granddaughter's life. It's really special. It's a wonderful thing to be able to share with them. You know, it's something that especially, you know, the youngest ones will take with them for the rest of their lives.
Right.
It makes a huge impact. So that's got to feel so good to be able to provide that for them. We're happy to hear it. Cool. Wonderful. So it sounds like your mindset is like around the whole program has been relatively smooth in terms of transitioning from your previous mindset of just like, I'm just going to grab whatever is out and I'll try this diet here and I'll try this diet there, into something that's like, I'm going to be cooking most of my own food and I'm going to feel guilt-free about this and work towards healing my body. How has that been for you? Has it been a smooth transition? Because it looks very smooth for you.
It has been. Like I say, the first few days, I still was craving my snacks. And so I think the big thing for me was when I joined the program, I knew good and well that my health was at stake and that my lifestyle was at stake. And I've always been an active person. So, you know, just being in a chair waiting for someone to help you out is not my style of living if I can help it. And I have diabetes, you know, I've had really high blood pressure. I've been on 4 blood pressure pills every day. And so I have lots of reasons. And when I made the determination that I was going to go for this, I made a determination to make a huge difference in my health. And I think that was probably the biggest factor in me being able to get on board as fast as I did, is I'm not going back there. That's the way I was. I just don't want to go back there. I've been on Weight Watchers and reached my goal weight 3 times and proceeded to gain it back plus. I've been on isogenics, lost everything I needed to lose, and had been on isogenics for 3 years. But after the first year, I started the snacking at night and doing all of those things. And I finally said to my daughter, this isn't working anymore. I'm tired of the shakes. I just can't do that anymore. And so I abandoned it the day I started this. And it's just kind of just cutting everything out from the before. And I think another big thing about this program is you can get full. You don't have to stop eating a 1,200 calorie diet, which is what I had been on before. And I was hungry all day, every day, and I could lose the weight, but I couldn't maintain 1,200 calories a day. And so when you start putting it back, you put back quite a bit. So, but since I've gone on this, I weighed 191 this morning instead of 215, which
Yay!
I've lost weight very slowly on all the other diets. And when I weighed at the end of a month, I was like, oh my goodness, I lost 11 pounds this month. How did that happen? Well, probably no snacks, but I was eating healthy. And I'm down to 2 blood pressure pills a day. And I'm hoping before long that I can go back to 1. But I have been on 4 for years. I mean, at least 2 decades. So
Wow.
that's incredible to me. Again, you see the life changes and I can't go back.
Absolutely, I would agree. I mean, it's incredible. You've lost tons of weight. You've reduced your medication. It sounds like I would love to talk a little bit more about your arthritis, because it sounds like that inflammation there is just like on a scale of 1 to 10, your pain level prior to the program was
8 to 9 regularly. Yes.
And now, what are you working with?
Now I would say sometimes there's no pain, and sometimes it's a 2, maybe.
Wow, that is
so. Yeah, it's incredible. I couldn't sleep at night. There's no position I could lay in, so it really affected me day and night. So it's just so nice to be where I am today. And I'm hopeful that I can even get better as I stay with this program.
Absolutely. You definitely have the determination, the motivation, and now the results to keep pushing you in the right direction. So you're doing a fantastic job. I love hearing all your results. It's super inspiring. I know that so many other people are dealing with things just like you. They're exhausted all day, so they're snacking because you're constantly trying to get that energy. And when your body's exhausted, it wants to eat. And then you're not sleeping well at night because you're in tons of pain, which just continues the cycle of being tired and wanting to eat.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to reduce your inflammation with a healthy diet, to improve your mindset and understand that you don't need to deprive yourself and put yourself into starvation mode on a 1,200 calorie a day diet, which is also exhausting. Your body needs more fuel than that. Absolutely. And then to just simply enjoy yourself. I mean, when you're cooking good food, it tastes good, it feels good. And ultimately, you can see these results and just understand this is it. This is working.
This is real food. That I think that's the biggest difference for me. I've made my own vegetable broth for the first time ever in my life. And the recipe said you can eat the vegetables after you make it. And I thought, oh, I'm not going to do that. I ate every vegetable that was in there. It was delicious. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing, So
how incredible. What a wonderful and beautiful shift. This is fantastic. I would love to round out today just talking a little bit about the members only group. And I know that you're very engaged. You've been posting pictures of your food throughout your journey, which we love to see. So just love to hear a little bit about your experience in the members only group.
In the members program, one thing I found is that I get really nice comments back when I put something up, and I can make comments to other people to encourage them. So I think the encouragement that is, a give and take, and the encouragement has been wonderful. And it's too early for me in my journey to not continue to have that. So I knew I wanted to be in the success group because I just absolutely felt the need that I had to stay with it and keep getting that feedback, and also seeing the different types of food that people put up and I've never thought about that, or then asking them what they put in there, what were the ingredients, and thinking, oh my, that sounds really delicious. So getting more ideas for myself as to get variety. I think that that's important. Otherwise you could, bomb out at some point. I've tried other smoothies too, because I'm afraid I'll get tired of this. So I've had a watermelon smoothie. I've had different kinds, but I always come back to this one because it's just such a solid start to the day. But I know I have others I can do if I choose to, if I need variety. So it isn't like I'm tired of this, like the isogenics, there were only 2 flavors I liked, and I have had all the vanilla and chocolate mint that I can possibly handle here. So it was move on to something different completely.
Absolutely. Being able to be in control of your own flavor profile to match your taste buds is huge. It will definitely keep you head in the right direction, keep you on track. And then also just to have inspiration from others that have similar symptoms to you. Like a lot of the women in our program are diabetic. They do have issues with high blood pressure. A lot of them have arthritis as well. So understanding that these women are going through similar situations and learning how to cook food that is healing their body is very helpful. So we're so happy that it is inspiring you, it is keeping you in check and continuing to support you on your path.
Well, I'm so thankful that I made that decision 4 months ago.
So
it has been one of the best of my life.
Oh my goodness, what a heartwarmer. Thank you so much for sharing that. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for your time today. We so appreciate you in the program, and we can't wait to continue working with you.
Thank you. I'm hopeful it'll help somebody.